Most people wake up in the morning and the first thing they feel is dread. They think, I can't do this. I'm tired. Life is too hard. Nothing good ever happens to me. And they believe it. But let me tell you something powerful today. Your thoughts are not facts. Just because a thought shows up in your mind does not mean it is true or deserves your attention. Imagine you are sitting at a bus stop. Different buses are passing by. Some go to places you want to visit. Some go to dangerous neighborhoods. You don't jump on every bus, do you? In the same way, don't jump on every thought that passes through your mind. If a thought tells you that you are not good enough, that is not a fact. That is just a bus going to a destination called Failure Street. You can choose to watch it pass by and wait for the bus that takes you to Confidence Avenue. But the problem is, many of us have been jumping on the wrong bus for years. We think, because I feel worthless, I am worthless. That is a lie. If someone calls you a millionaire, it doesn't automatically put money in your account. If someone calls you poor, it doesn't take your money away. In the same way, if your mind calls you useless, it doesn't make you useless unless you accept it. Think about this. Have you ever woken up feeling like today is going to be terrible? But then something amazing happens later that changes your entire mood. That is proof that your thoughts are not facts. They are just temporary mental weather. The problem is when you allow that temporary storm to become your permanent climate. A woman wakes up thinking her husband doesn't love her anymore just because he left early for work without saying goodbye. She spends the whole day angry and in pain, believing that thought, creating stories in her mind. But in reality, he just had an early meeting. Her thought was not a fact, but it ruined her entire day. This is what negative thinking does. It steals your peace based on assumptions and illusions. A student fails one exam and thinks, I'm so dumb. I'll never make it. That is not a fact. That is a feeling. One failure does not define intelligence. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Imagine if he said, because I failed this time, it's over for me. We would still be living in darkness. Your negative thoughts are lies dressed up as facts. You have to learn to stand guard at the gate of your mind and say, thought, where is your evidence? Where is your proof? If it cannot provide evidence, then it has no authority to stay. You see, your thoughts can be influenced by your mood, by what you ate last night, by how much sleep you had, by who called you or didn't call you, by your past traumas, or by your environment. You could be thinking something negative just because you didn't sleep well. Imagine basing your entire destiny on a thought that only came because you were tired. That is like canceling a flight to your dream destination just because the taxi was late. Don't destroy your journey because of one temporary inconvenience. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned is to separate myself from my thoughts. When a negative thought comes, I step back and say, interesting. That thought is telling me I'm not qualified for this opportunity. But is that true? Or is it just fear trying to protect me from disappointment? Once you begin to see your thoughts as suggestions rather than commands, your life will transform. You will realize you are the thinker, not the thought. You are the master, not the servant. Your thoughts come and go, but your decisions remain. If you want to kill negative thinking, you must first realize that your thoughts are like clouds. They float across the sky of your mind. Some bring rain, some bring shade, and some just pass by. You don't have to stand in the rain and soak yourself in misery. You can walk into shelter, change your position, and wait for the sunshine to come back. That's how powerful you are. You have authority over what stays in your mind. I want you to remember today that if a thought tells you you are worthless, it is lying. If a thought tells you your life has no purpose, it is lying. If a thought tells you you will never recover from your mistakes, it is lying. Even if your mind repeats it 1,000 times, it is still a lie. Repetition does not turn lies into truth. It just makes them familiar. And familiarity is dangerous because you start to think, this is just who I am. But it is not who you are. You are not your negative thoughts. You are the observer of those thoughts. And you get to choose which ones to water and which ones to starve. Negative thinking only grows when you feed it attention. Starve it by questioning its authority. Challenge it like a stubborn lawyer in court. Ask yourself, where is the evidence that I can't succeed? Where is the evidence that I'm unlovable? You will often find that there is none except old memories and emotional scars that do not define your future. The next time a negative thought comes to your mind, pause and remind yourself, this is just a thought. It is not a fact. Negative thinking is not free. Every time you choose to think negatively, you are paying a price. The problem is most people never check the receipt. Imagine walking into a store and picking up an item without looking at its price tag. You get to the cashier and suddenly they tell you it costs your peace, your sleep, your opportunities, and your future joy. Would you still buy it? This is what negative thinking does. It tricks you into thinking it's harmless, but it is quietly bankrupting your life. Think about this. There is a man who wakes up every morning and says to himself, life is just hard for people like me. I'll never make it far. He thinks these are just harmless words in his mind. But what happens? He goes to work with a defeated attitude. When an opportunity for a promotion comes, he doesn't even apply because he already told himself he can't. A few months later, he sees someone else get promoted and he becomes bitter, saying, see, nothing good ever happens to me. He never realized that his negative thinking cost him that promotion before he even applied for it. There is a woman who tells herself, I'm not beautiful enough to be loved. She thinks it's just a thought, but what happens? She carries herself with insecurity, with her head down, avoiding eye contact, avoiding connection. She pushes away good people and attracts toxic people who confirm her negative thinking. And then she says, see, I knew I wasn't worthy of love. But the truth is, her negative thinking cost her the confidence that attracts genuine love. Negative thinking costs you your health. Science has proven that people who constantly think negatively have higher levels of stress hormones, leading to inflammation, blood pressure issues, and heart problems. Imagine this. Your thoughts are literally shaping your body's chemistry. Every time you sit and worry about tomorrow, every time you replay that insult someone said to you years ago, every time you tell yourself you will fail, your body reacts as if it is under attack. Your immune system weakens. Your energy drains. Your sleep is broken. You wake up tired not because of physical labor, but because your mind was at war all night. It cost you your relationships. Have you ever met someone who is always negative, always complaining, always criticizing? Do you want to spend time with them? No. Their energy repels people. Their conversations drain the room. But here is the shocking part. Many of us are that person without realizing it. We wonder why friends stop calling, why family avoids deep conversations, why colleagues keep their distance. It is because negativity is contagious and people protect their peace. Your negative thinking might be costing you relationships you were meant to grow with. It costs you creativity. Negativity closes the mind. It blinds you to possibilities. Imagine an artist who keeps thinking, my art is not good enough, no one will buy it. That artist will never experiment, never share their work, never improve. Their negative thinking becomes a prison that keeps their gifts hidden. Think of all the books not written, songs not sung, businesses not launched, and ideas not executed just because someone believed their negative thoughts more than their potential. It costs you time. How many hours have you spent worrying about things that never even happened? How many days have you wasted thinking about what people said about you instead of living your life? How many weeks have you delayed starting something because you thought you weren't ready? Negative thinking is a time thief. It steals your moments of peace, your hours of productivity, your days of joy, and your years of purpose. If you calculated the total time spent on negative thoughts, you would realize you could have mastered a skill, built a business, or written 10 books with that same time. It costs you peace. Peace is priceless. You cannot buy it in stores. No amount of money, fame, or success can replace the peace of a quiet mind. Negative thinking keeps your mind noisy. It keeps you agitated, comparing, fearing, regretting, and worrying. You could be sitting in a beautiful room, on a comfortable chair with food on the table, and still feel miserable because your thoughts are attacking you. Negative thinking takes away your ability to enjoy simple moments because it constantly tells you what is missing, what is wrong, and what could go wrong next. It costs you your destiny. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is living your entire life below your potential because you believed lies in your mind. You were born with gifts to solve problems, to create impact, to make a difference. But negative thinking makes you bury your gifts underground. It tells you, who are you to try this? Others are better than you. You will just embarrass yourself. So you never step out. You never take risks. You never grow. And at the end of your life, you look back and realize that you didn't fail because of lack of talent, resources, or support. You failed because of negative thinking. Negative thinking is expensive. It is costing you everything you value in life. Peace, opportunities, health, relationships, and your destiny all have a price tag attached to your thinking pattern. There is a powerful secret about your mind that most people don't understand. You do not have to entertain every thought that appears. You have the power to interrupt it. The problem is we were never taught how to interrupt our negative patterns. We were taught math, science, and history in school, but nobody sat us down to teach us how to manage our mind. So now we grow up thinking that whatever thought comes to us must be true. But that is the greatest lie. You can interrupt a negative thought before it grows into a negative mood before it becomes a negative behavior, and a negative behavior before it becomes a negative lifestyle. Imagine you are walking in your neighborhood and a stray dog starts chasing you aggressively. What would you do? You would immediately react. You would run, shout, or pick up a stick to defend yourself. You would not stand there and allow the dog to bite you just because it appeared. That is the exact same thing you must do with negative thinking. When a negative thought shows up, you don't stand there and watch it chew up your confidence, your peace, and your dreams. You interrupt it. You shot back with a stronger thought. You run away from it by shifting your focus to something empowering. You defend yourself by reminding yourself of who you are. Interrupting a negative pattern is not about pretending it does not exist. It is about refusing to let it lead you to destruction. For example, a young man wakes up feeling anxious about an interview. His mind starts telling him, you are going to mess up. They will think you are not qualified. You will embarrass yourself. If he doesn't interrupt this pattern, what happens? His heart rate increases, his confidence drops, his energy drains, and he enters the interview room already defeated. But if he interrupts the thought immediately and says, no, I refuse to think like this. I have prepared. I have experience. I am capable. He cuts off the power of that negative thought before it can poison his performance. Think of your thoughts like a train. If you realize you are on the wrong train heading to a dangerous place, you don't sit there and say, well, I guess this is my destination now. No, you get off at the next station and change your direction. In the same way, when you realize your mind has jumped on the train of fear, insecurity, and hopelessness, you interrupt the journey by getting off. You change your thoughts intentionally. How? You speak out loud, you stand up and move. You do something different to break the flow. Negative thinking thrives in stillness and silence. When you sit silently allowing it to loop in your head, it grows stronger. But when you interrupt it with a strong declaration, you weaken its hold instantly. A woman sitting at home begins to think, my life is meaningless. I'm just a burden to everyone. Tears fill her eyes, her energy drops, and she starts sinking into depression. But if she interrupts the thought by standing up, splashing cold water on her face, going for a walk, calling a friend, listening to something motivational, or even writing down 10 things she is grateful for, she breaks the cycle immediately. Your mind follows patterns, and the fastest way to destroy a negative pattern is to introduce an unexpected action that confuses it. It's like pressing the emergency brakes on a speeding car. People think interrupting negative patterns is complicated, but it's simple. Change your physiology, change your focus, change your language. If you are sitting slouched over, breathing shallow, looking down, your body is in a posture of defeat, which feeds negative thinking. But if you stand up tall, pull your shoulders back, take deep, powerful breaths, and look straight ahead, your body tells your mind, we are strong, we are ready. If your focus is on everything going wrong, your thoughts will match that. But if you force yourself to focus on what is going right, your mind will follow. If your language is full of words like, I can't, I'm nothing, I'll fail, then your thoughts will reflect those words. But if you start declaring, I can handle this, I have what it takes, I've overcome worse before, you break the negative cycle immediately. A man once told me, but these negative thoughts come so fast, I can't control them. I told him, it's not about controlling their arrival, it's about controlling their stay. You can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair. Negative thoughts will come, that is how the human mind works, but you have the authority to interrupt them. When fear comes saying, you will fail, interrupt it with, but what if I succeed? When insecurity comes saying, you are not good enough, interrupt it with, I am learning and growing every day. When regret comes saying, look at all your past mistakes, interrupt it with, but look at all my lessons and growth. Interrupting negative patterns is not a one-time act. It is a lifestyle. The more you practice it, the faster you get at it. Soon your mind will learn that negativity has no space to rest in you. Just like a dog that stops chasing you when it realizes you are not afraid, your negative thoughts will stop dominating you when they realize you refuse to give them attention. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow, whether it is seeds of positivity or weeds of negativity. But here is what most people don't understand. Soil does not choose what grows. The sower does. If you don't intentionally plant positive seeds every day, weeds will grow by default. That is why you must create a ritual of positive thinking that becomes your lifestyle and not just a reaction when things go wrong. Ritual means discipline, commitment, and intention. You cannot build a powerful mind with occasional positivity. It requires daily sowing, daily watering, and daily nurturing. Imagine a man who wakes up every morning, picks up his phone, and starts scrolling social media. The first thing he sees is bad news, people arguing, someone showing off their success while he feels stuck in life. Before he even gets out of bed, his mind is filled with comparison, fear, and frustration. He drags himself out of bed, walks into the day defeated, and by night he wonders why he feels anxious, unproductive, and hopeless. It is because his morning ritual planted negative seeds that grew into his entire day. Now imagine another man. He wakes up, takes a deep breath, and before he picks up his phone, he closes his eyes and declares 10 powerful truths about himself. I am capable. I am focused. I am grateful for my life. I will make progress today. I am strong. I am wise. I have solutions within me. I attract favor. I am disciplined. I am blessed. He visualizes his goals, sees himself succeeding, feels that victory in his bones, and then begins his day with power. Do you think his day will be the same as the first man? Never. His ritual programmed his mind for victory. Creating a positive thinking ritual is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It is about training your mind to approach problems with power instead of panic, with faith instead of fear, with strategy instead of surrender. A woman once told me, "But how can I think positively when my reality is negative?" I told her, "Your reality is negative because you keep watering it with negative thoughts. Change what you water, and you will change what grows." Think about brushing your teeth. You do it every morning and night without negotiation because you know the consequences of skipping it. Yet, we don't treat our minds with the same discipline, even though an unclean mind can destroy your entire life faster than unclean teeth can destroy your smile. You need to brush your mind with positivity every single morning before you allow the dirt of the world to settle in it. Your ritual could be as simple as waking up and writing down 5 things you are grateful for. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance instead of lack. Or it could be declaring powerful affirmations that align with the person you want to become. If you struggle with fear, your ritual could include saying, "I am courageous. I take bold action despite fear. Fear is just a feeling. It does not control me." If you struggle with procrastination, you declare, "I am disciplined. I finish what I start. I use my time wisely today." A young woman working 2 jobs and studying at night told me, "I don't have time for rituals." I told her, that is exactly why you need one. A ritual does not require an hour of your day. It can take 5 intentional minutes that transform the other 20, 3 hours and 55 minutes. While brushing your teeth, look in the mirror and speak life to yourself. While driving, instead of worrying, listen to motivational content that builds your mind. While showering, visualize your goals as if they are already happening. Make positivity as automatic as your daily hygiene, because your mental hygiene is what determines how you show up in this world. Ritual builds resilience. When negativity comes, your mind already has a defense system in place. Your ritual becomes like an immune system that fights off the virus of fear, doubt, and discouragement before it can spread. Think of athletes. They don't just train on game day. They train every day so that on game day their performance is automatic. Your mind is the same. Your ritual is your training ground. When life throws problems at you, you don't collapse because your mind has been trained daily to stand strong. If you skip your ritual, your mind will default to old patterns. Patterns of worry, comparison, complaining, and fear. But when you commit to it daily, even when you don't feel like it, you build mental muscles that ordinary people will never have. The truth is, no one feels like being positive every morning. But warriors don't train because they feel like it. They train because their survival depends on it. Your destiny depends on the discipline of your mind. Positive thinking rituals are not magic. They are mental engineering. Just as an engineer designs a bridge to hold weight, you design your thoughts to hold the weight of life. Without that design, you will collapse under pressure. But with a strong positive ritual, you will stand firm while others crumble. You will see solutions while others complain. You will take action while others freeze in fear. And you will rise where others sink. The people around you are either bricks or termites. They are either building your life or silently eating away at your confidence, your dreams, and your identity. Every conversation you entertain is either constructing the architecture of your future or dismantling the foundation of your purpose. Some people are so used to being around destroyers that they think it's normal to feel drained after every conversation. But let me tell you today, it is not normal. It is toxic. If you keep walking with people who carry poison in their mouths, don't be surprised when your dreams start dying. Imagine a man trying to build a beautiful house. Every day he lays bricks, mixes cement, and strengthens the walls. But at night, he allows a group of people to come in and knock down what he built during the day. Every morning he wakes up and finds the walls broken, so he starts again. Years later, he looks back and realizes he has been working hard, sweating, giving his all, but he is still stuck at foundation level because the people he allowed into his life were destroyers. That is how many people live. You build your confidence by reading powerful books, listening to motivational teachings, developing your skills. Then you spend 1 hour with a negative friend who tells you, who do you think you are? That's impossible. Just be realistic. And all your bricks of confidence come crashing down. Builders are those who see the seed of greatness in you, even when it's hidden under the dirt of your struggles. They water that seed with their words, their encouragement, their wisdom, and their presence. Builders remind you of who you are when you forget. They don't compete with you. They complete your strength with their support. But destroyers, they carry scissors in their mouths. The moment you start to rise, they cut down your courage. You say, I'm going to start this business, and they laugh. People like us don't succeed in such things. You say, I want to study again, and they mock, at your age, don't waste your time. You say, I'm going to lose weight and get fit. And they say, you've tried before. You know you can't do it. These are destroyers disguised as friends, colleagues, and sometimes even family. A woman once told me, but they are my friends from childhood. I can't leave them. I told her, would you rather lose your old friends or lose your future? Because your destiny is too precious to be destroyed by loyalty to people who refuse to grow. Growth is a choice. And when you choose to grow, you will outgrow some people. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. If you are an eagle, stop hanging out with chickens. Chickens peck at the ground and gossip about each other all day. Eagles rise above storms and see opportunities from miles away. You can't carry chicken mentality friends into an eagle assignment. They will only pull you down to their comfort zone. Builders stretch you. They challenge you to think bigger. They don't allow you to settle in mediocrity. They correct you with love when you are wrong and push you when you want to quit. Destroyers keep you comfortable in weakness. They tolerate your excuses because they live in excuses too. They want you to remain at their level so they don't feel convicted by your progress. They keep you busy with gossip so you never have time to strategize your next breakthrough. They keep you drunk with entertainment so you never wake up to your purpose. A young man wanted to quit university because his friends mocked his vision every day. He felt discouraged and drained. But when he changed his circle and started hanging around classmates who valued their future, his mindset changed. He said, they talk about business ideas, leadership, investments, and excellence. I can't even think about giving up around them. That is the power of builders. Their very presence demands the best version of you to stand up. If you spend your time with 4 negative people, you will become the 5th. If you surround yourself with 4 builders, you will become the 5th builder. Energy is contagious. Mindsets are contagious. Habits are contagious. You cannot sit in a room of people complaining all day and expect to walk out inspired. You will walk out heavy, drained, and defeated. But if you sit in a room of people planning, creating, and executing, you walk out feeling unstoppable. Life is already hard enough. Don't make it harder by choosing destroyers as your closest companions. Builders are not always the loudest people. Sometimes they are quiet observers who speak life at the right moment. Sometimes they are the ones clapping for you when no one else sees your effort. They may not always be in your age group or social class, but they carry the wisdom, faith, and energy that accelerates your destiny. Destroyers will keep you stuck for years without you realizing it. You will think you are progressing because you are busy, but you are only busy going in circles around their limitations. You deserve builders in your life. You deserve people who speak to your spirit, not just your insecurities. People who celebrate your wins without secretly resenting you. People who remind you to stand tall when life bends you low. People who see your scars but still believe in your greatness. Builders will multiply your courage and divide your burdens. Destroyers will multiply your confusion and divide your focus. Choose wisely, because your circle is your future. Most people wake up every morning thinking about their problems, talking about their problems, posting about their problems, calling people to complain about their problems, and then wonder why life feels so heavy. Let me tell you something today. Your life moves in the direction of your focus. If you keep focusing on problems, you will attract more problems. But the moment you start focusing on solutions, you activate a power in your mind that turns impossibilities into possibilities. The difference between a struggler and a conqueror is not the size of their problems, it is the size of their solutions. Imagine two people working in the same office. Their boss gives them a project that seems impossible to finish in 1 week. The first person starts complaining, "This boss is unfair. This is too much. Why is this happening to me? I can't do this." The second person thinks quietly, "How can I break this project down into daily tasks? Who can I collaborate with? What strategy will make this faster?" At the end of the week, the first person is still talking about how hard the project is while the second person is submitting results. Life rewards the one who finds solutions, not the one who announces problems. When you focus on problems, your energy drains because you are telling your brain, "We are helpless, we are victims. There is nothing we can do." But when you focus on solutions, your energy multiplies because your brain shifts into creativity mode. Suddenly ideas flow, strength rises, and doors open that were invisible before. A woman was telling me, "I don't have money to start my dream business." I asked her, "What is the solution?" She said, "I just told you, I have no money." I said, "No, that is the problem. What is the solution?" She thought deeply, and then her mindset switched. She said, "I could start small with what I have. I could sell my skills online. I could offer services first before producing products. I could partner with someone for capital. I could save for the next 6 months." That shift changed everything. Within a year, she had launched her business because she stopped rehearsing problems and started inventing solutions. Problems are a normal part of life. But the mistake many people make is to marry their problems instead of divorcing them and marrying solutions. They become loyal to their excuses. "My father wasn't there for me, so I can't succeed." That is a problem-focused mindset. A solution-focused mindset says, "Because my father wasn't there for me, I will become the kind of father who breaks generational pain and raises children with love and security." Some people say, "I didn't go to university, so no one will hire me." That is problem focus. A solution focus says, "What skills can I learn online? What business can I start without a degree? How can I create value so that companies look for me instead of me looking for them?" It is never the problem holding you back. It is your perspective about the problem. Do you know why eagles fly above storms? Because while other birds panic about the storm, eagles use the storm's wind to rise higher without flapping their wings. Problems are storms. Solution thinkers are eagles. They rise above problems instead of drowning in them. In your daily life, observe yourself. When something goes wrong, what is your first reaction? Do you complain or do you ask, "What is the next step forward?" When your car breaks down, do you curse the day or call the mechanic? When your job feels toxic, do you gossip about it for months or strategize your exit plan? When your relationship hits challenges, do you blame your partner endlessly or ask, "How can we rebuild what we have lost? I once heard about a company that was sinking because competitors were taking all their customers." At every board meeting, executives kept saying, "We are losing. Our market is gone. Customers don't want us anymore." But one young leader stood up and said, "Enough. We know the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Why are they leaving? What do our competitors offer that we don't? What is the one thing we can do that no one else is doing?" That meeting changed everything. Within months, the company rebranded, introduced new offers, and dominated the market again because one person shifted the focus from problems to solutions. Look at your life today. Write down all your problems if you want to. Then beside each problem, write 3 possible solutions, even if they seem small or incomplete. Watch how your mood shifts from fear to power. Watch how your energy shifts from depression to determination. Solutions awaken the giant within you. Problems keep you feeling like a grasshopper in a land of giants. You are not a grasshopper. You are a giant with the capacity to think your way out of any prison life puts you in. Some people say, I don't have time to think of solutions. But you always have time to worry about problems. If you use the same energy you spend worrying on planning solutions, your life will transform within months. Problems announce themselves, but solutions must be created. Problems shout, but solutions whisper. That's why only those who quiet their minds and think deeply hear them. You will never hear a solution if you keep entertaining panic, anxiety, and self-pity. You must rise above the noise and ask yourself powerful questions. What can I do about this? Who can help me with this? What is one small step forward today? Solutions live inside questions. Problems live inside complaints. Life will not remove problems for you, but it will honor you when you become a person who creates solutions. Listen to me carefully. There comes a time in your life when you must decide that enough is enough. Enough of living like a prisoner in your own mind. Enough of waking up every day with negative thoughts chaining your greatness to the ground. Enough of believing the lies that tell you're not worthy, you're not strong, you're not capable, you're not ready. The truth is this: you were born ready. You were born powerful. You were born to rise above whatever darkness is trying to cloud your purpose. Do you hear me? You were born to lead your own life and influence others with your light. When you kill your negative thinking, you unlock a version of yourself you never knew existed. You wake up with energy. You walk with confidence. You speak with authority. You move with clarity. You are no longer tossed around by circumstances because you become the master of your internal atmosphere. Remember this forever: your mind is a garden. If you plant weeds of fear, doubt, worry, and bitterness, you will harvest a life of stress, confusion, and regret. But if you plant seeds of hope, courage, faith, gratitude, and solutions, your life will become a harvest field of abundance, favor, progress, and joy. There are 2 types of people in this world: those who see a wall and say, "This is the end," and those who see a wall and say, "Where is my hammer? Where is my ladder? Where is my plan to break through or climb over?" Which one are you today? Life does not reward victims. Life rewards warriors. Life does not honor excuses. Life honors solutions. Life does not give trophies to those who complain. Life gives crowns to those who conquer. You are not a victim. You are not weak. You are not here just to survive days. You are here to dominate your days with excellence and impact. Never forget this line: ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets inside them. Don't let the world's negativity enter your mind and drown your purpose. Don't let other people's toxic words enter your heart and poison your confidence. Don't let temporary setbacks enter your spirit and destroy your momentum. Protect your mind like a fortress. Guard your thoughts like a treasure chest. Because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. People will doubt you. Let them. People will laugh at your dreams. Let them. People will walk away when you need them most. Let them. Because when you rise above your negative thinking, you realize that their doubt was never your limitation. Their laughter was never your ceiling. Their departure was never your ending. You become unstoppable. You become a force that cannot be ignored. You become a light that darkness cannot extinguish. Every morning you wake up is a reminder that your assignment is not over. Every breath you take is proof that your story is still being written. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and greater. Tell yourself, my mind is powerful. My thoughts create my reality. I refuse to let negativity rule my life another day. Remember, lions do not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Eagles do not flap their wings to prove they are eagles. They simply rise and fly. You are a lion in your field. You are an eagle in your destiny. You are the author of your mental narrative. If you want to kill your negative thinking, start by changing your words, your focus, your reactions, your inputs, your company, your beliefs, and your solutions. Say to yourself daily, I am powerful beyond measure. I am unstoppable by choice. I am disciplined by design. I am a masterpiece in progress. I will think powerful thoughts, speak powerful words, and live a powerful life. Because at the end of your days, it will not matter what people said about you. It will not matter what storms tried to drown you. It will not matter what setbacks tried to bury you. What will matter is what you believed about yourself and how you fought to turn every dark day into a testimony of light. Your greatness is not in the absence of negative thoughts. Your greatness is in your decision to kill them every time they rise. So rise up today and declare with boldness, nothing in this world can stop a mind that is determined to win.